Guys, what's up? Darcy here at Six Strings Nine Lives. As you probably already know, Testament acquired the rights back for their first 6 albums from Atlantic Records and turned them over to Nuclear Blast, which has been their home since 2008 with their comeback album, The Formation of Damnation. And since then, Nuclear Blast has reissued the 2 other albums that were not on Atlantic Records, which was The Gathering and Demonic. Those both were reissued in 2018, as well as First Strike Still Deadly, I believe. Fantastic cover album, by the way. But as soon as I saw the pre-order for these go up, these are 2 absolute thrasher pieces. This is a band that I've been with since day one, since I discovered the Legacy. So it's a no-brainer for me to pull the trigger on these. I am going to give you my thoughts on these, do some comparisons. Unfortunately, I don't have any original vinyl to compare to, but I do have some other stuff that we're going to compare to. And of course, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. If you own, an original, or you bought these, or a little bit about them. But yeah, like I said, 2 thrasher pieces, 1987's The Legacy and 1988 The New Order from Testament. Absolute must-haves. I mean, The Legacy is my personal favorite thrash debut. Actually, it's my favorite thrash album of all time. It is absolutely a flawless album. So like I said, when these came up for pre-order, no problem. I am going to get them. What we'll do today is I'm going to compare them with, I do have 2 other reissues of The Legacy. One that I picked up a few years back. It's a Music on Vinyl. And then there was a 2017 reissue on Rhino Records, the Rocktober. Really, really strong artwork on that one, because to be honest with you, if I hold this one up right here, this doesn't do the cover the right justice, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to say any justice, because I'm not really fully impressed with these. This is actually, if I'm holding it up and looking at it, it's pretty blurry. It's kind of fuzzy. This is definitely a picture from either, I don't know, a cassette or a CD that's been blown up. But like I said, if I hold it up here and you're looking at it, it probably looks just fine. But overall, that's probably my only gripe. They did a good job on these. They kept them as single. They didn't build them into a gatefold. So there's the back cover for The Legacy. Let me show you what's in this one, and then we'll do a couple comparisons. Then we'll move on to The New Order. So this one is called Purple with Yellow Splatter, limited to 2,000. I just haven't cut out the hype sticker yet. This one is still available, but I see The New Order, at least on the Nuclear Blast website, is sold out. And here is that splatter vinyl, purple. Now the center ring, it's definitely very generic looking, nothing fancy. The vinyl's pretty cool. I would have took black vinyl, whatever. There's no way I wasn't picking these up, put it that way. And very nice anti-static sleeves, nice touch. And the album. If you're tuning into this, the album, the band Testament. So what I'll hold up here first is we'll do a comparison with, this is the Music on Vinyl. Like I said, it does not say exactly what year this one came out, but this one, sound-wise, I did a comparison of all 3 copies that I have. Side by side, I did 3 tracks, 3 tracks, 3 tracks. The Music on Vinyl is probably the best sounding one. This new one, which now I want to hold up the artwork so you can actually see what I'm talking about. I'd have to hold it. All right. So the Music on Vinyl one is on top. You can see it's very sharp. The logo just looks much better. It's really kind of hard to tell on here, but this, believe me, it is quite fuzzy. And overall, if I do this, The picture on the brand new Nuclear Blast one right here is actually blown up a wee bit. It's about a half an inch here, half an inch here, or a quarter inch. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, it's a little bit bigger. What about color-wise? Definitely darker purple here in on the Music on Vinyl. The back is pretty much identical, except for some reason on the Nuclear Blast one, they blew up the logo, you know, another quarter, half inch, whatever you want to say. And it's a little more prominent than the Music on Vinyl. So there's that one. And then if I hold up the Rhino reissue, this to me is the best reproduction as far as artwork goes, but the worst sounding. It is, it has to be turned up quite a bit to achieve the same level. So on the bottom here, now you can really tell that logo. This one really pops, and that's the Rhino reissue from 2017. But overall, I gotta say the sound, and I'll show you on the back too, these, like I said, and there is the Rhino reissue there, and here's the logo on the new Nuclear Blast reissue. It's blown up quite a bit, but overall, the back, I mean, the back cover photos are very acceptable. It's, you know, a black background, looks really good. But overall, I'm going to tell you, the sound on the Nuclear Blast, these 2024s, there's nothing wrong with it. It is very adequate. I've said it before, I don't need things to be perfect. You know what? These are albums that are from my youth that are burnt in my brain anyways, you know, and, you know, as far as this album goes, and now owning 3 copies, I mean, I could own 10 copies of this album. This is absolutely, like I said, probably, this is a top 3 album of all time for me. There's a couple other ones in there that would maybe edge it out, but definitely not in the thrash department. But yeah, overall, the sound is good. The vinyl, the color's cool. Insert wise, so besides the paper and not being a true a sleeve insert, this is a replica of the exact one from what I've seen on Discogs and other people showing them. So got the lyrics, everything on there. And yeah, limited to 2,000. So, you know, maybe they'll move on to a different color, whatever they want to do. And I also, so I said I had my original, never had any original on vinyl, but I will, if the opportunity, you know, knocks on my door, I will pick up an original, especially of the Legacy. But I still do have my original, my cassette and my original CD. So that is the old super cassette, or what would they call it? Yeah, super cassette. There's the Atlantic logo on there and the J card like that. So I still have that and my CD. And like I said, this is a band that I have never missed a release. I always look forward to it. You know, glad they came back in 08 after they were away for 9 years from recording, things like that. And so as far as just a souvenir, they had these up for, so this is the brand new cassette. I'm not going to open it, but I'll show you what color it is. So Nuclear Blast does this, and I don't know. I'm a sucker for this type of thing. Just, I guess they could only go up in value. They're not that expensive. Maybe, I think $12.99 or something like that. And this is on a kind of a bluish, purple bluish, whatever you want to say. But pretty cool. They've been doing a lot of these with, Overkill, and I got some Accept one, stuff like that. So I picked that one up. And so there's the comparison with the original. I can't beat that original. Cassettes are so cool. And here is the new order. So I don't really have anything large to compare this one up to. But if I hold it right here, you're probably not seeing anything wrong with this. If you do have an original at home and you want to pause this and hold it up beside me, what you will see is this skull is more purple looking to me. The original, which I have on the cassette here, which I'll pull out just so we can kind of hold it up. It's more of a bluey, okay, so here we go. So it's definitely more of a bluey, smoky, as you can see. So, I love the original. I don't mind this one at all. But this logo, if I had an original to hold it up to, it's, the original here is definitely sharper. This is fuzzy because it was blown up for sure. Size-wise, I don't really know. The back cover, true to the original Megaforce logo. And this one came on a cyan with black splatter. So what they're going to do, I'm sure what they're going to do is, because there's 6 albums, they'll release 2 at a time. So what will be next will be Practice What You Preach from 1989, and then Souls of Black from 1990. And then they'll move on to The Ritual in 94. Was that 94? Yeah. Sorry, The Ritual was 92, and Low was in 94. So I'm sure they'll do 2, 2, and 2. I'm going to get them all. I do have a couple of them on vinyl. I do have Souls of Black, Music on Vinyl reissue, but you know what? I'm going to get the set. During the, a year ago before I found out about this, I thought, sure enough, we're going to get the Atlantic Years box set, similar to the Overkill set. But when they acquired the rights to their own music and got Nuclear Blast behind them, hey, that's perfect. But yeah, so there is the new order. Another, this is a Thrasher piece. This is going to be awesome. Here is the inner, which is basically a reproduction of the original inner, as far as I know. And then let me show you this black, what's it called? Cyan with black splatter. Again, nice inner sleeve here. Which end are we on? All right, here we go. And this one, little cooler on the center ring. You got the Megaforce logo. But those other 2 reissues that I have of the Legacy, one is on a green vinyl. That's the October one, and then the Music on Vinyl is on a black vinyl. So I think, no, actually, you know what? It's on a silver vinyl. But yeah, pretty cool. Don't mind it. There is no warpage on these. They sound great. So if you're just wanting to get these because you haven't been able to get them, I mean, the originals, if you want one that's in good condition or, very good condition or mint, you're going to pay for it. But if you're happy with these like I am, they're well worth your money. I think these were only $33 Canadian on pre-order price, which is fantastic. And so there's my original cassette. And there is the brand new reissued cassette. It's hard to tell on here, but the skull is kind of, well, no, you can tell. It's larger on here on this cassette version. And yeah, and this one came on a blue cassette. Like I said, I don't plan to open these. They're just kind of little souvenirs, whatever. Like I said, I'm a sucker that way too. So I'm not sure. There hasn't been any announcements on reissues for the next batch of 2. But one thing I did see on, I think it was Nuclear Blast Germany, but now it's disappeared. I can't find it. But I saw a pre-order for the reissues of the remastered versions of these with kind of altered artwork. Now, let me know if you saw that. For the Legacy, it had kind of just the skull with a black background, and then the new order had a kind of a misshaped skull on the cover, and now those disappeared. So I'm not really sure. So just to be clear that these, let me grab these both. Both of these are not remastered. They are just straight reissues. And the ones I was just talking about that I said I saw on the German Nuclear Blast Germany probably about a month ago, and now I can't find it. It said remastered actually right underneath the album title. So let me know if you know anything about that. Yeah, but overall, the sound quality, go get them. They're fantastic. Like I said, multiple times. These are Thrasher pieces that you got to have in your collection. Especially if Testament fan. Not only did they acquire the rights to their first six albums, they also signed a new deal for 3 more albums. So if we're on track, 2024 will get an album. They're usually on the 4-year deal with all these albums starting in 2008. So 2024, 2028, and 2032. I mean, I'll be 64 years old by the time that, you know, if all goes well, I'll be 64 years old by the time that last one comes out. But, you know, just love Testament. They're top 3 thrash bands for me, you know, with Overkill and Creator, which, speaking of, just the other day, and I was going to tell you this at the start of the video, but woke up, checked up Blabbermouth, and sure enough, there is a tour coming in my area, actually, here in Canada. I can't believe it. There's 7 Canadian dates. Clash of the Titans North America 2024. Testament, Creator, co-headlining with special guest Possessed. I actually couldn't even put a concert or a set, 3 bands like that. I couldn't ask for anything better is what I'm trying to say. So I purchased my tickets a couple of days ago, probably about 4 days ago. I think Wednesday I pulled the trigger on those tickets. Super excited. So I will be at, if you look at the schedule, I will be at the September 22nd show. And hey, let me know if you're attending that show. Let me know if you're going to see this North American tour. I don't know how many dates there is altogether. There's probably like 30 or 40, and 7 in Canada. I do have to drive 4.5 hours, but man, that's nothing. I am super excited about it. Not a super costly concert. I think the ticket was $90 Canadian for those 3 bands. I will pay that all day long. But yeah, and let me know about these reissues. They're like I said, they sound really good. And there's the little cassettes we'll end the video with. And looking forward to Practice What You Preach and Souls of Black coming out too. Hope you enjoyed this one. And until next time, stay heavy.